Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and today we finally get to check out the capital city for Shadowlands. I want to introduce you guys to Oribos and give you a little bit of a tour throughout the new capital city you'll be hanging out in when it comes to the new expansion. This place will be similar to that of Shattrath for BC or Dalaran used in Wrath as well as in Legion. It'll be a sanctuary for you to get all your necessities to buy PvP gear, auction your stuff off, and in, as well as a hub between the different worlds and covenants available in Shadowlands. So let me give you the grand tour of this brand new place. The inside of Oribos reminds you a little bit of Exodar, maybe a little bit of Undercity, mixed together with the Warrior Order Hall. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Pieces of bronze and blues and reds and different specific color schemes and color palette for this place. I mean, it really looks out of this world, but it really does have its own appeal and its own structure. So around the middle are going to be a variety of different areas. For example, there's a whole area where you will have, this whole place is massive and is broken apart into a variety of different sections with specific purposes. While not everything is functional, like some of the vendors and maybe even reputation quartermasters and other features are not fully functional, the potential for everything is pretty up there. On the east wing, we have the inn. This will be where you'll be logging off majority of your characters, and there's a good chance you will pop in your hearth to this unless you choose to go to the hearth of one of the covenants, which you should be able to access straight from Oribos as it acts like the middle area. Unlike Dalaran in Legion, you don't fly to those areas, but it seems there's going to be a teleport to get you there immediately. It did take me a little bit of time to explore this place, not because it's only big, but also because, well, there's a lot of DCs in the alpha, so that will happen from time to time. At the bottom of the inn, you'll actually find quite a variety of creatures called brokers. You'll actually be able to find them quite a bit. They are the Shadowlands version or Shadowlands alternative to that of the ethereals. If you are going to, let's say, buy your Azerite gear, you have an ethereal vendor, so you will walk up to him. And these guys, in a sense, for Shadowlands, are your ethereals, except they're a little bit different. They'll focuses on anima and anima gathering, and in the Shadowlands lore, as far as I can gain from some of the quests, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of anima to be found. Some of their animations are absolutely awesome, and you might even see some of them as dungeon or raid bosses in the future. Time will tell. But these guys look absolutely cool, and I feel like they kind of fit into this mysteriousness that Shadowlands brings. Everything here looks foreign and fantasy, which really is really cool. I mean, it's Blizzard building on some new lore for World of Warcraft, and I think so far it looks pretty impressive. The middle area of the inn isn't the most exciting part. There's way more to explore. One of the things you'll notice in the inner circle of the Oribos is it is separated into 4 areas marked with a variety of different flags, all having different icons about them and different colors. So that's going to be how players will be able to orient themselves around this area. Maybe Blizzard will add more cues on the map in order to find stuff. In the red district is what I'll call it. There's a curiosity vendor and what looks like the bazaar master, which will be the auction house master, transmogrifier, as well as a void storage guy. I don't really know a lot of people that use void storage, but there it is. And there's likely to be a lot more. And within the brokers, there's also an area for you to cut your character's hair if that's what you wish to do. Good chance that Blizzard might end up moving the stuff around in the future alpha, but for now this is where all these guys are at, but maybe Blizzard will implement more stuff into this room specifically in the future. Continuing our tour of this brand new place, we have the purple district, which seems to be more of a quartermaster district, as well as the PvP vendor district. You'll find Ventir guards, but you won't find the guards for any of the other covenants, although you can see the banners for them, and a couple empty spaces that Blizzard could put in a couple other NPCs for other purposes. Possibly vendors or possibly, let's say, reputation stuff. But overall, so far, while empty, it does scream of possibilities. And of course, we also have, finally, PvP vendors. Now, these guys are not finalized, and there's going to be some sort of an honor currency for you to buy pieces of rank 1 gear. And there's going to be even conquest pieces that you'll buy from the weekly conquest currency. I don't know if Blizzard will change the name of the currency, but right now it doesn't actually say conquest. It just says like weekly currency reward. And one of the things you will notice is everything in terms of gear is for rank 1, which gives us an idea of what Blizzard might want to do with the currency and the ranking of this in the future. As one of the brokers sells you honor gear, the other sells you what looks like conquest gear. And the final one lets you upgrade pieces. How many of you guys in PvP would like to upgrade all the pieces of PvP gear? We're not exactly sure how this is going to function and how many times you'll be able to upgrade, but that's potentially what we're looking at. Being able to outfit yourself from head to toe with conquest pieces, and if you want to continue upgrading those existing pieces that seem to have a variety of different secondary stats, you might be able to continue to do so as the season goes on. Continuing on with Oribos, we have ourselves the blue district. I don't really know what you would call it, but probably would be the profession district. One thing that Blizzard maybe could do is add some kind of a notifier on the actual map when you open up your map to have a different name or a different icon based on each region. But this is going to be the professions room. It looks really cool. Some of the little doodads that it has for professions really do look unique. There's a massive forge, and this room in particular gives you this warrior order hall vibes. At least it does for me, mixed with a little bit of like a magey type of order hall. But this overall does look fantastic. And there's a bunch of brokers around, and there's probably going to be a bunch of crafting dudes all over the place teaching professions and variety of different recipes. Moving on to the final room or final section of Oribos is going to be the green room, or the Hall of Holding, essentially the bank. You'll have the bank, and you'll also have Handle the Arbiter with some sort of a vault with some sort of abilities that you might be able to get from. No idea what this might be. Maybe this character will be used in order to upgrade your Covenant halls or Covenant abilities, soul forging or soul binding, whatever it may be. But this character right here might be very, very important when it comes to doing whatever you do on Oribos. Have no idea. Of course, it's also your normal banker, so this is probably the most simple room out of all the ones available here. So I believe a lot of players will be able to spend quite a bit of time in the first floor. I mean, not only does it look really cool, but this is where all the useful amenities will be. There's a PvP vendor, there's the crafting profession guys, the auction house, and a variety of different vendors for you to interact with. But there's also a second story. Now, the second floor of Oribos is really kind of empty. There's a lot of potential of what could be here, but when you go up above, there's nothing. There's no vendors, there's just guard NPCs. There looks like an area where something should fit in the center or in the sides, kind of like as if it's a gateway room, or maybe like a massive portal room. Maybe, potentially, this could be the portal room for Oribos in the future, to have massive gateways that take you, let's say, back to Azeroth or to different parts of the Covenants. But right now, there's nothing there. It's an empty room, and it looks great, but it just makes you wonder what could be in here in the future. Now, the biggest thing that I also wanted to check, after seeing the fact that Blizzard is finally adding PvP vendors, is can you duel anywhere in Oribos? When you buy a brand new piece of PvP gear, of course, the first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to test it out, spar with another player, maybe that of Alliance or Horde, and see which one of you is bested. In Battle for Azeroth, while we do have vendors, quote unquote, we don't actually have vendors, we just have a PvP chest, and Blizzard did create a whole PvP area and a dueling area that nobody ever uses. With the vendors coming back, quite a few people will be hanging out by the vendors, and if it'll be anything like Mr. Pandaria was with vendors or WoD was with vendors, there's a good chance people will be hanging around in front, dueling each other in front of vendors. In Legion, I guess you couldn't really do that because everybody were wearing legendaries that were way too overpowered, and in Battle for Azeroth, I mean, you don't really have a vendor, so back to Orgrimmar in front of Stormwind, I guess. But right now on Oribos, there's nowhere for you to duel. And that's something that maybe Blizzard can implement in the future, unless they already have. Maybe make it so that in Oribos, in this like hall where you have the PvP vendor, make that area where you actually can duel one another if you have war mode on. So if, let's say, someone wants to go in there and get the PvP gear and you want to try to test that out, that's fine. But if you don't want to be constantly spammed with duels, there's other places for you to hang out as well, if that's so you choose. The last place I could show you, but this is probably going to be not a final area, but we have the teleports that will take you to Stormwind, Orgrimmar, and 2 available zones for Shadowlands right now. The Kyrian with Bastion and the Venthyr with the Revendreth. But that's most likely going to change in the future. I doubt that Blizzard will just want to put portals right when you zone in. They look kind of okay, maybe a little bit clumsy. Maybe that's what Blizzard will use the second floor of Oribos for massive gateways to take it from place to place. Another thing, the art has been insane. The art team is blowing me away. The skybox looks absolutely gorgeous. This whole place looks amazing, and you can kind of see different parts of Shadowlands. The Ventir with the red, you have the Maldraxxus with green, the purple with the Fae, and Kirin with like more yellowish golden, as well as the Maw, almost like a stream of anima or stream of just washed out colors. And it just makes you wonder, how does this place all function? Where is Oribos? It's almost like it's on a whole another plane of existence. It absolutely looks gorgeous. And the ideas behind like the story, like there's massive gateways in front of all these areas, massive gateways that maybe somehow project you into all these different zones and all these different realms. How does that all work? And it's really cool to see Blizzard kind of building on top of all that lore. Oribos so far has been an insanely cool looking city, not really fully functioning yet, and I would love to see what's like once filled. Hopefully it won't be super laggy, because this will be the place where everybody will be. Right now we have Dalaran and Borealis, and they're generally not super laggy, but you can at least still go and do stuff. And you don't have all the Alliance and Horde packed in one area, kind of like how we did back in Legion and Dalaran. So hopefully this place won't be super packed and, you know, causing frame drops and everything. There's potential for it, but overall, this is Oribos. Let me know what you guys think about Oribos so far for Shadowlands Alpha. Good chance that this place will end up getting changed quite a bit, and it seems like there's still more updates to come for Oribos in the future. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see all of you in another video.